you know, Thursday when Diablo 2 just would not let me actually like progress and it just kept crashing. I ended up I ended up having a bit of a sulk about that afterwards. I'm like, I really wanted to play Diablo that night and I was getting good gear, but I was also pretty like exhausted from Wednesdays. Like I did some rigging on Wednesday and stuff on my avatar and I'm like, I can't do that Wednesday and Thursday. It's too much too soon. So I was like, the fuck am I gonna do? I'm here. I want to be productive. So anyway, I ended up spending a few hours trying to just like pinpoint somewhere on the world where we want to move to and shit. I'm not gonna show where it is yet, but I have located where I want to go up and in here. So we are gonna move. I had like 50 plus places I checked. Obviously, like I didn't progress the game at all. It was just like a don't save situation, like always when I do this stuff. So I ended up I found like probably 6 places I liked, and I had to narrow it down from there. So it took a while. It took like 3 12+ hour days to really like find where I wanted to be and like find I know that's excessive for RimWorld, but like when you're trying to move a fucking army like this, you gotta find a place that's like suitable. So I did the same thing with this place. When we moved here, I scouted out a whole bunch of places on the map because I knew I wanted to move into like this kind of area sort of thing, somewhere around here, because we're moving from down here. And I wasn't sure if I wanted to be in the desert or I think like arid shrubland or the temperate forest, or if I wanted to move up further and stuff like that. And I ended up finding this was where I wanted to be. I liked how this looked. It's turned out that because as you can see, I don't have the entire map that I can grow on. Like this looks pretty good until you go over here. Yeah, this has been crippling for my colony. So that I tried not to get this again. I like it though. I like the visual of the beach. The beach has been really nice, but when I get raids over here, fucking nightmare. And this is only because I built to the absolute fucking edge of where I can build. As you can see, my little dots. This is the edge of the line. So I don't want to do that again. So I've had to narrow it down. I found some really cool places. So I found some places that looked a lot like Salvation but flipped. I found like a flipped version of this place, but like it had smaller beach, and I thought that was really cool. What else did I find? I found one that had a little Australia on it. Oh, that was cool. Like, you know, the grow areas. Hold on, let me highlight this shit again. You know, like this. It had an Australia-shaped grow area, and I was really, really tempted to take it. It's just that, like, I didn't really think I could probably build on it that well, and also avoid where that grow area was and stuff. But it would have been really cool because this map, if I recall right, when we first made this map, this world, it's Australis or something. It's not like Australia, it's Australis or something like that. So I found where on here happens to have a a little Australia grow area. So that was really cool because I'm like, you know, considering the world seed, what it's called and stuff, to actually find it, very cool. I was really close to that one. Nick really wanted me to build on that one, but I just couldn't I couldn't come with the creativity with it. That's another thing too. When I saw this place, I felt like I could recreate something similar to Hatora, which I did, although I did differently. My next thing is I've got to figure out shapes and sizes and shit. Bear's hiding in this room because of, he's in a bad mood. But the other thing too is I want to increase my food production. I think I've been limiting myself with this, and I think I could do better. I do want to keep those suspended. Quite frankly, I might just get rid of those the fine meals and shit, but we'll see. It starts running around very fast, waking tail happily. Smiling crashes into box, tilts head, starts running around again, smiling. Oh, you got all the energy. Probably because Squirtle Queen's been like tickling the shit out of you for a little while. I was chilling in her stream a little bit because she has a very super cool design on the base. We're supposed to be playing 7 days today, by the way, but I want to leave that be until 2.0 comes out, because I don't have anything else I want to do with my game save. And while I do have, like, I am playing on Andre's game as well, I don't want to create a new, like, folder on YouTube that's just got, like, a few, like, a little bit of, like, gameplay in it before, like, the next one and stuff. It's already pretty confusing over there. So I'm just going to wait, and I'll enjoy playing a bit offline and shit. But we got to take Mega Scarab home. By the way, he had a he had an infection as like that basically took his life and shit, which is kind of a shame because he was pretty cool. But I honestly thought he'd be alright. I'm just gonna bring everybody home. Bring them home, and I'll fix up the cooktops. So I'm gonna need to make more transport pods, but I don't think I got the fuel for it, even though we got 2 chem reactors. Comes to the box where I can tell happily, peeking head out from a box, smiling nods. You know, the other thing too, Viking, is so we have a box. We had to replace one of the fans finally. Like, you know, the fans that broke a couple of summers ago? Yeah, anyway, I had to finally replace one. And I know it's winter, but look, shit's cheaper when it's out of season, right? So anyway, we got a box for that, and we'd just gotten rid of like all these old boxes that we kept in the house because Azula likes playing with them and shit, right? And so Azula immediately just stole the box, and I had to cut Nick's hair last night, and so we stood the box up out of the way, and she was just like so offended. I'm not even joking. She was just so offended that we'd stood the box up and she couldn't just climb in it. Today, she ran over to it and she pulled it down, collapsed it on herself. She's fine. Obviously, it's a box. She's fine, right? But she collapsed it on herself and then like scurried into it, you know. So that's how offended she was because we forgot to lay it back down, you know. Honestly, I want to cut it up and get it gone, but yeah. We'd just gotten rid of like all the old boxes because whenever we get something, we normally just keep the box and the cats play with it if it's like miscellaneous size. So like if they can fit in it, they just claw it. They like clawing cardboard, which is why we got Azula a cardboard scratcher for her birthday. It works great. So yeah, I'm gonna increase basically pemmican up to 10,000. I'm going to put them all up around 10,000 except for Simple Meals. I want to keep Simple Meals around 4,000 because I won't be able to easily refrigerate things at the next location. Not yet. I'm going to get rid of the fine meals, I think. I think we just get rid of that. No, it's working too happily smiling. It was pretty cute. It's pretty cute watching Azula like get shitty about her box situation. But, I mean, she's got her scratches. She does like her scratches. She's, like, half demolished it by now. By the way, she's just, like, torn into it. She lays on it. She likes to lay against it. It's like it makes her happy, and that's fine. Let's bring these up to 4,000. So I haven't messed with their food for a while. It's going to kind of, like, stop this a little bit. This is sort of why I want 2 days. So I want to see if I can bring up their food production really high. And, without clicking off that bench, you may notice we have a lot of shit in storage to the point that it's getting stored on the floor again. Like that. Yeah, I want to sell this shit too. We finally got enough fur and wool and cloth and shit for them to make clothes, and then this happened. I also don't really think I need limestone, but we'll see. The other thing too is now is actually not the worst time to do a like caravan to a new location anyway, because it's the end of summer. I have a shit ton of animals. Like, if I could secure a small base, that'd be fine. The only problem is if I halve my base, the raids of 145 people are going to be higher than my collective half of a base. So that's a problem. You know, one of my cats will walk over to where one of her cardboard boxes used to be when someone throws them away, just kind of stares at the spot, meows, and looks around at anyone nearby. I feel bad. So you kind of like put cardboard boxes in a spot and she kind of plays with them until they disappear. That is a little bit of a shame. Asora did something really similar to us the other day. I just can't remember quite what it was. It was a similar concept. It could have been the cardboard box standing upright, actually. That could have been what it is. Because we've got, like, Nick's work often gets shit delivered in cardboard, as, like, you do. And so, like, sometimes he just brings home packaging and shit. Because it's normally, like, for electrical stuff. So it's normally not too dirty kind of thing. And yeah, the cats can kind of play in it. It's relatively safe and shit as long as we don't have any packing peanuts or foam or shit in it. And yeah. Eventually, when we want to get rid of it, once they've absolutely destroyed it, we kind of like semi-collapse it and put it in the garage. And they're just not allowed in the garage because we've got other shit in there too. But if they ever do manage to get in, which it happens every so often, they sneak in there. The first tip off that they're in there is the clawing of the cardboard, because obviously they find their box that smells like them and they want to scratch on it, right? So they immediately just give themselves away every single time. It's cute, it's funny, because like if they didn't go beelining for the cardboard, we wouldn't know that they were in there. It's not like it's unsafe for them to be in there. We have got chemicals and tools and we'd rather them not be in there, kind of thing. Because, you know, cats like to rub up against stuff. So it's safer just to keep them out of there. But, yeah, that cardboard, it completely unstealths them. The fan works really good too. It's like, we realized just how bad the one remaining fan that was working was working. We turned the new one on 1 and it was stronger than the old one on 3. Like the settings 1 to 3 and stuff. And we were kind of horrified with that because like, yeah, it's so much stronger and shit. But it's also kind of, I don't know if you'd say it's like louder. It runs quieter, like it's not as clanky. But it's sort of like when it's at like the highest fan, it's obviously got like a white noise loudness to it kind of thing. I think that's the best way to put it. It's not bad. It is nice to have one working fan for next summer. That would be really nice. Yeah, it just got to a point where the engine completely no longer started. So last summer, the engine was kind of doing this thing where it sounded like it was running, but it wasn't running. Like it wasn't spinning. And it, like you could sometimes jump start it by like spinning the blade if you could get your finger in the wire, which I don't recommend people put your finger in fucking past the wire on fans and shit. That shit's dangerous. But if we could get something to get it to spin, we could normally get it to start. And this now, it just, yeah, no engine, no nothing. Completely dead. So finally replaced it. We used to have like 3 good fans. But anyway, the other thing too is I'm actively making stock, like, you know, a bone broth and a vegetable stock while I'm streaming this. I'm multitasking right out of the world right now. So I've been collecting like turkey and duck bones and stuff like that from our meals. Normally what it is when I've cooked like a roast duck or turkey or something like that, I've just been stripping the meat off the bone and just putting those bones straight into like a Ziploc bag in the freezer. And I've got enough of them now that I can fill up a pot basically. And so I'm trying to make a bone broth and I have like a bunch of like various vegetable scraps that I've like washed up and done the same thing to, and they're in another pot. So because my streams at the moment are only about 3 hours, I feel that this is okay to have that going in the background, because otherwise, like my 4-hour streams that sometimes turn into 4.5-hour streams, I couldn't guarantee I could get back to it to give it a stir before something potentially sticks. So we should be fine with 3 hours. It just makes my house smell really weird right now. Like, it's a very mixed smell. I can mostly smell pumpkin, which makes no sense because I only have like a little bit of pumpkin seeds in it, but it's like the dominating scent in my house. And I don't know why. Continually struggling by full flushes, wagging terribly. No. What if I pat you furiously, like super fast, wagging? I am curious if your coat gets static or if that just like does like what most animals do and like revs you up and gives you energy. But yeah, I'm pretty excited to have found a location to move the colony to. I've been looking casually for like a month IRL to try to find somewhere to move us to, but I just wasn't finding somewhere I liked. And now that I've found, like as I said, I narrowed it down to about four places I sort of liked. I liked 2 of them because they had diagonal rivers, and I thought that looked visually very enjoyable kind of thing. And 2 of them had horizontal rivers, and one had the Australia crop grow area thing. And I chose like the very last place I picked out of all of it. And it was also the same one that Nick ended up picking. So yeah, it's fine. But we should be fine when we move. I've just got to work out how to fit all the 280 beds. Technically, it's like, I probably don't need 280. I probably need closer to 200. Realistically, I need to go have a look around my colony. Like once I'm finished with this, I'll have a look at how my bedding situation is, because I want to make sure that I only have to make as many beds as I need. I know that sounds really interesting because, like, as you guys know, I have like a shit ton of beds for every colonist, but sometimes the colonists pair up, and I'd really like it if we could get them to, you know, solve some bedding situations and shit, like pair up a little bit more. But a lot of my colonists are single, and I don't want to make single, like a lot of single bedrooms, because then I can't fit couples if they do couple up. Like I could do half my colony, or I could do 2/3 of my colony. If I wanted to save space, I could do 2/3 of my colony in double beds, and I could do like 1/3 of it in single beds, because there are a number of people that do not couple up no matter what. My only concern is they might get shitty if the bedrooms are not good enough or whatever. You know how sometimes they can get shitty about that. I also realized that a lot of the benches over this side have about a 4,000 limit on the simple meals. I just don't want a shit ton of simple meals if I can avoid it. Which I almost just made that. There we go. Hey, AZ. The hell you up to? Wagtail receiving lots of pats, fast, smiling. No. Hey, what are you up to, AZ? I'm trying to go around and like increase my food limit for my colony. See if they'll just build the extra food, because we do have like some extra crops right now. Plus, I've found where I want to move us to, so I'm trying to get them to make extra stuff. There's a lot of benches in here that look like they're down and out. I don't really want more than 4,000. So when we've got about 2,000 simple meals, that really doesn't feed them for that long, unfortunately. Like, I think 500 odd is like about a day, give or take. I think. I can't remember if they eat once a day or twice a day. I've never really like sat down and watched one colonist for an entire day just to find out how many times they eat. But I always assume it's at least twice, because it's better to assume it's twice and make enough food for that than to not have enough. But yeah, I'm not expecting them to drop 10,000 pemmican this week. But hey, if they get creative and, you know, they got the time, the bench is open and available. So by all means, they can go ham. I don't care. They can get in here. Like, some of these are up to 4,000. Some of them were capped at 3. I made some of the later benches capped higher so that they could like still work on some benches, and it was supposed to give me a heads up if we were capped. But I haven't been paying attention, so that's on me. This whole bench is set forever. That's fine. My phone fell Friday 16th, so I'm searching for a repair shop that could change the screen. I bought a brand new one because I don't want them to make me pay twice what it costs. Jesus. When was Friday? So like about a week or so ago. So did you have to wait until you got the replacement before you start looking? Is that kind of why it's taken a bit longer? Can you still use it in the meantime? I guess, like, depending on how damaged it is, maybe not. Because these days, like, you gotta touch the screens and shit to do anything. So that might actually be a huge issue. It was a week ago last Friday. Oh, yeah. No, that's shit, though. That sucks. I don't know. I couldn't probably deal with my phone being, like, out of commission. I hate to say that because, like, I think I said ages ago that in this day and age, like, phones are kind of, like, replaced, like, the comfort teddy bear we used to have as kids sort of thing, you know? So it's, like, it doesn't even have to be on. As long as it's got power to it and stuff, like, it just brings me comfort as long as it's nearby and shit. But, yeah, there's still, like, excessive usage. The hell was that? Something expanded in this room and went crack, and I don't know what that was. I'm hoping that wasn't the window. That sounded like glass. Ain't nothing I can do about that. This shouldn't probably be on 50,000, but I will leave one bench being higher. Until starts wagging forces like something both full flushes. No worries, Viking. I do have this bench set like stupidly high, and I know why it did that. I just want to fix that up. There can still be 5,000 on a simple meal. I don't mind having one that's just barely pushing past it, because it will always make sure that they're making a little bit extra. And we do have the forever bench, so that's fine. For the phone screen, now I have to go to multiple repair shops to see how much they're going to ask me to remove all the components, then put in a new frame. I bought the frame that has a screen and speakers already installed. Oh yeah. I guess the other thing too is, like, they probably, I don't know, depending on the place, they probably want to be iffy about the fact that you've got, like, most of the repaired, like, replacement stuff. So it's probably, like, making it a little bit more difficult to get them to give you, like, a decent price, because, like, they probably would have just gone with, hey, we'll just order the shit in and it's all part of the price. But then again, it's very hard then to find out, like, just, like, paying for, like, the labor of replacement instead of, like, the labor and parts where they can absorb some fees in there. It's like, I get what you're doing and stuff, but, like, yeah, I feel like a lot of phone repair stores in particular are just going to be shits about it. It's mostly just the phone repair store side of it. Now, I'm pretty sure I accidentally left these bastards stuck here because we had a door open. We had, like, a door, like, barely fucking open. Let me just get rid of that. And everybody freaked out and hooked up a whole bunch of animals to it. I can barely see. There was a spot where you were hooked up. I think it's, like, there. When it's raining and it's nighttime, I can't see shit. Like, especially up against this. Like, I'd like to have some outdoor lights. We never got to the point where we got outdoor lights, by the way. That just never happened. I think there's also another type of research thing I'm supposed to have, but I don't have. Let me have some coffee. It's actually like a pretty cold night, which is why I want the coffee. I'm not tired for once. I actually spent Saturday 100% asleep all fucking day. And then Sunday, I spent most of the day asleep. And then Monday, I spent all of the day asleep again. So I basically spent like 3-ish days asleep, which I haven't done for a while. But I think everything just kind of caught up with me this like past week, especially since like Thursday. Thursday was when Diablo was glitching out. Thursday, I started looking for a place for my colonists to move to, right? And yeah, I ended up... We didn't get a stream on Friday because I didn't go to sleep until 7 p.m. Friday from Thursday. That's why we didn't get a stream Friday, by the way. I have a lot of spare beds. I'm just going to see if I can grab them all and tally it up properly. So anyway, because of that, I ended up spent a bit of, I think, Friday night after I had that like micro fucking nap. Got back up and started looking for more locations in RimWorld again. And yeah, I spent, whenever I was awake on the weekend, I did spend looking for somewhere to move us to. So I've been in RimWorld a lot this like past week. I want to know how many beds do not currently have somebody in it. I might actually have to wait till everybody's home, because they may belong to the people that are out at the moment. I've got 11 beds selected. If there's 11 colonists out from the base, then they will like match up. But yeah, I see how like a lot of these are single beds. There's another one. I'm trying to do a count up to see how many beds I actually need to make next time, because I just went ham with this. I made a lot of beds, and the point was that if we had spare, great, because I always seem to be just taking more and more people. And I don't really want more than 280 colonists anymore. I did jokingly say that I might as well go for 300 at this point, but like, I didn't want more than 150 to begin with. All right, there's 13. How many's in this caravan? 10. Let's use 11. And the one person that died's 12. So yeah, we had one spare bed out of this whole colony. We had one, or you know what it'd be? It'd be it'd be Rice's bed. We had one bed for everybody. So I don't have a bed for Muffalo, and I don't have a bed for Blue Jay. I actually am down 2 beds because one person's died. Damn. Hey, Mup. I see you wiggling at me. What are you up to today? What are you doing? I'm trying to get a count of my bed situation. I might actually do a section by section bed count. We got 55. We're going to see some interesting stuff that I don't usually do on stream, but I do this shit like after the fact. So what I'm doing is I'm grabbing, if I can avoid getting the prison beds, I'm trying to grab just the beds, and I'm trying to plus them together out here on a calculator where you guys can't see it. And that's going to give me a tally of how many beds I need. And I need to add additionally 2 extra beds. But yeah, this is the shit that I do sometimes. Where is the divider here? I guess we'll just grab all this. Just got home. Nice. Home from work, so you get to rest, or not so much. That was 76, wasn't it? Yeah. Okay, so we have 261 beds currently, and I am short 2 beds. So let me just add that. So we could really do with 263 beds, give or take. Let me just jot that down. Now, I want to know how many of these bastards are single beds. So we're going to go have a look at that. So I only want to count up the ones that are coupled. And mind you, at any point in time, these people could pair up. So I've got to allow for that. But I'm just questioning if they really need a full queen-size bed, double bed, whatever the fuck it is in this game. I always think it's a queen-size bed because, like, I don't know. As a teenager, I went from... Oh, I might have missed that one. Maybe. I went from, like, you know, single kid bed to a queen-size bed, basically, as a teenager. Nowadays, I've got, like, a fucking king. It's a huge bed. It's like so fun to have like a king bed though. It's a bitch to make because like the fitted sheet, you don't know which fucking direction it goes in because they're very similar in length in both long and lengthwise kind of thing. But apart from that, it's like it's pretty nice. Like I can lay completely across it in any direction and for the most part my feet don't hang off the edge, which is really nice because like unless I'm like down from my pillow a bit, in which case they do hang off the bed, but that's normally how I watch shit when I'm laying on my bed anyway, is I'm normally like down from my pillow. Just random shit you guys get to like learn about me. You guys there's not a lot of couples, hey? There's definitely a lot less couples than I initially thought I'd have. I was hoping that more people would couple up with the view that... Oh, there's one. With the view that they might maybe solve our bedding situation, because every person that couples up allows one bed to become, like, unconnected to somebody. When they do that... it basically gives me an extra bed, which is really useful with this many people. Yeah, there's an extra 10. I'm up to 16. I'm actually really surprised I have so few couples. Gooby is in a shoot frenzy. Cool. You know, the only shitty thing is when I came on to have a look at where we're going to move to, we got a psychic soothe. Obviously it didn't save. Obviously it hasn't happened again. But you know how like Mega Scarab died? Yeah, it was really useful for that, to negate